mind you can't control. Running wild, can't calm down. My head is in the clouds. Gotta keep this feeling, keep on breathing, even if we're slipping away. So I close my eyes and lose myself now. Do it like it's only today. We got a party for a lifetime. No, we ain't stopping for the sunrise. No, we don't care about the bad nights. For a second I can feel like this. Make me feel like this. We got a party for a lifetime. No, we ain't stopping for the sunrise. No, we don't care about the bad nights. For a second I can feel like this. Make me feel like this. I'm on my last straw. I'm broken and I'm woken up. I'm done feeling your lies. I've had enough. I can't run your place in this faulty game. And all the words you speak mean nothing more to me. 'Cause let's start over now. Rewind. And I won't let you go. I need you by my side.
Happy Sunday, pearls. Please hit that thumbs up. Let us know what number you are as you're rolling in. You're all having a good weekend.
I'm gone, so don't run from the truth. You're lost, now I know you played me just like a flute. I still can't believe you had me on a leash, cutting all my teeth with all the lies you bring. Hey, let's start over now. Rewind, and I won't let you go. I need you by my side. Let's take it slow. Where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow. Who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me. Let's take it slow. 'Cause you don't know how. You say we're taking on water, yeah, we're sinking now. You're looking all concerned, like we're gonna drown. But we both know how to swim, no worries as we'll fall now. Let's take it slow, where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow, who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me. Let's take it slow. I drag you out your mind, and there are days I hate you, but baby, you're still mine. And we have the best times, no matter what we do. And even when we don't, there's nobody I'd rather choose. Let's take it slow, where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow. Slow, who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me. Let's take it slow, where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow, who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me.
Well, hello everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. Really do appreciate your time. Let me fix my camera 1 second. Oops, muted. Hello, mute number one already. Hello everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. Good to see you all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Screwed up my intro. Today is August 11th, 2024. 6:40 p.m. on the East Coast of the United States. Hello, my sweet, sweet pearls. Hope you are well out there. Thank you so much for joining me. Um, only getting in one live today. I try to do 2 lives a day, but I've been really busy. It's back to school and all of that stuff. So, thank you all so much for joining me. Really do appreciate your time. We are going to be speaking about a case today that is horrific. Absolutely horrific. Um, I do plan on following this case as well. And y'all, I just read a woman was arrested for sharing her endless appetizers to Applebee's. Oh, God. Lord have mercy. Go back. Oh, wow, JD. That's when we used to go back in school. It was September. So, Nancy Joe, is today your birthday? Is today your birthday? That is amazing, Jacqueline. Happy birthday to your precious father-in-law. What a gift from God. Today is Nancy Joe's birthday. Well, can anyone? Yeah, we can see your comments, Stephanie. How are you? Good to see you. Of course we can. All right. So we will sing this to Nancy Joe and Jacqueline. What's your father-in-law's first name? And we'll sing it to him as well. Um, is Cheryl, is today your birthday? So we got Nancy, Joe, Cheryl, and Matthew. Okay. Without further ado, this is my rendition of Happy Birthday, Mr. President, that I'm sure he's seen in real time, your father-in-law, Matthew, singing to the late and the great JFK. All right. Sing it, Marilyn. Don't make me laugh, please, because I am ridiculous to begin with. So, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Nancy Joe, Cheryl, Matthew. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Nancy Joe, Cheryl, and Matthew. May you all have a wonderful birthday. Wishing you all health, happiness, and everything that you ever wanted. Congratulations on making it another year. Um, I know we're all getting older. However, every day is a special day. Every year is a special year. And time goes by, right? So enjoy it. We only get so many trips around the sun. So, yeah. Okay. So, is it just me or is Justin cutting in and out? Um, I hope I'm not. Make sure everything's connected. You guys just let me know if I'm cutting in or out. We good? Just wanted to, okay. Okay. All right. So this is a difficult story. It's a very difficult story. So I want to give you a trigger warning. Big, big trigger warning. Oh, thank you, Jacqueline. Thank you. All right. Um, this story here is really, really hard. So mods, I need you to continually put trigger warnings in the chat as new people come in all the time. Nana Butterfly, thank you so much for becoming a pearl. Thank you so much for becoming a pearl, investing in the channel. Really do appreciate you. Can't do it without you. So thank you so much. Consider becoming a pearl if you haven't yet. Not cutting in and out. Okay. All right. So without further ado, we're gonna get started on this. I want to show you a picture of two of probably the most twisted individuals that could exist on the planet, to be quite honest with you. Here they are. Here they are. We're going to talk about them because what they did, we talk about people unaliving people all the time, much less children. It's worse. It's beyond how one can unalive a child. But what they did was tortured, absolutely tortured this child that we're going to speak about. So this 25-year-old Michigan, if anybody lives in Michigan, you probably heard about it, and her 32-year-old boyfriend have been arrested and accused of torturing and unaliving her 6-year-old son, who was kept in a pen, stapled to a wall, and repeatedly pew-pewed with a BBGU, among other things. Among other things. So I'm going to show you precious little child that is absolutely atrocious. Bear with me 1 second. As I go back and find the photo of this little boy. This is little Giovanni, also known as Chulo Jennings. Thank you so much, Jackie, for gifting a pearl necklace. Really do appreciate you, my dear. If you received that pearl necklace, please thank our sweet Jackie. Dana, thank you so much, my dear. It's me, Laura, and her new granddaughter. It's me, Laura, and her new granddaughter. Oh, congratulations, Laura, and your new granddaughter. Congratulations. Oh, this one's hard, guys. This one's really, really hard. So what I'm going to tell you again is very sensitive. I have to watch my wordings on this because it's even just the wordings that I'm using, it's going to be a tough one. All right. I'm trying to find something, guys. I apologize. I'm trying to find the arrest warrant. So here it is. Prosecutors in Oakland, Michigan called the case one of the worst instances of child abuse they have ever seen. A young boy's horrific unaliving has now resulted in child and murder charges. Uh, Daniel's grandmother, Ann Nix, said 6-year-old Giovanni Chulo Jennings was put in the corner of a bedroom as a form of punishment. Quote, he was being real bad. I understand he was being real bad to his brother, end quote, Nix claimed. Nix lives in the uh, Eccles mobile home community off, how do you pronounce this? DeQuingley Road in Madison Heights. It's the same place prosecutors say Giovanni suffered blunt force trauma to the abdomen and a perforated bowel after a lengthy period of confinement and child abuse. Quote, when I was home the one day, I heard her reprimanding him, slapping him with the belt, Nix described. Nix was adamant she was unaware. Oakland County prosecutor Karen McDonald charged her 32-year-old grandson, how do you pronounce his last name? Jakina, and the child's mother, 25-year-old Elena Jennings, with the murder of the first degree child abuse. Photos taken during autopsy in the Wayne County revealed Chulo had bruising and lacerations on his entire body, McDonald said. Police say a 911 call on July 30th made by Giovanni's mother led to him being found not breathing. He was pronounced deceased a day later at the hospital. Quote, both Giacchani and Jennings would watch video clips of Chulo, quote, misbehaving, end quote, which would include Chulo trying to urinate, drink, or leave the corner. That was him misbehaving, guys. That was him misbehaving, trying to leave a corner, trying to go use the bathroom. That was him misbehaving. Um, I honest to God don't know how people think that someone is misbehaving because there's just critical parents. Prosecutors say after initial charges of lying to police were filed, they discovered video evidence to show the boy was SHOT with a BBGN and confined to his bedroom using a staple GN. Giovanni began vomiting due to his injuries, investigators say. Oh my God. They're worse than demons, reality. They're worse than demons. Worse than demons. How could how could a human I mean, this is something that terrorists don't do, right? They don't even do that in a lot of cases. I mean, this is beyond. Both Jennings and Giovanni laughed about photos and the boyfriend's use of the staple GU to solve, quote, the problem, end quote, McDonald described. Prosecutors said Jennings also lied, telling police the boy was with his biological father, who was not actually involved, instead of Giovanni. Next door, neighbor Jolene, hold on, it's a Russian name. Jolene Shilowski said she was in disbelief. Quote, "Oh, that's heartbreaking. And to know that there was torture, to know the boy was TORTURED, that's unfathomable," the neighbor says. Quote, "How can a mother do this to their kid?" End quote. The suspects were placed in jail without bond. A court hearing is set for August 21st. I will be following this as this continues. This is one where I want to go to Michigan and watch them hand down the sharpest sentence they can do. Does Michigan have the penalty, DEATH penalty? Because if not, they will hopefully get it in prison. Absolutely.
Hello, my name is Rich Duval, President and CEO of the North Star Health Alliance.
One second.
You may be asking yourself, what is the North?
Give us 1 second while this ad passes, and we will play this. This is hard, but people need to hear this. People need to hear this. This is the grandma.
How was he being punished?
I was told that he was put in the corner.
Why was this child being punished?
He was being real bad. I understand that he was being real bad to his brother.
Ann Nix lives here in the Ackles mobile home community off DeQuinder, the same place prosecutors say 6-year-old Giovanni Jennings suffered blunt force trauma to the abdomen and a perforated bowel after a lengthy period of confinement and child abuse.
When I was home the one day, I heard her reprimanding him, slapping him, with the belt.
Nix is adamant she was unaware. Prosecutor Karen McDonald charged her grandson, 32-year-old Daniel Giacchina, and the child's mother, 25-year-old Elena Jennings, with murder and first-degree child abuse until I told her. Did you see anything that made you think he was in danger?
No.
Photos taken during an autopsy in Wayne County revealed that Chulo had bruising and laceration on his entire body.
Police say a 911 call July 30th made by his mother led to him being found not breathing. He was pronounced dead a day later at the hospital.
Both Giacchina and Jennings would watch video clips of Chulo, quote, misbehaving, which would include Chulo trying to urinate, drink, or leave the corner.
Prosecutors say after initial charges of lying to police were filed, they discovered video evidence to show the boy was shot with a BB gun. confined to a bedroom wall using a staple gun, and that he began vomiting due to injuries.
Both Jennings and Giacchina laughed about the photo and Giacchina's use of the staple gun to solve, quote, the problem. The abuse involved
If the grandma lived there too, and it sounds like she did, she needs to be charged too. Don't care
physical
how she is.
violence and assault, including shooting at Chulo with a BB gun. For punishment, Chulo was confined to a pen in a corner of Giacchina's and Jennings' bedroom.
Prosecutors add the mother lied, telling police the boy was with his biological father, who was in no way involved in this. Jolene Zidlowski lives next door and tells me she's simply in disbelief. To know that he was confined allegedly to a bedroom,
Yep.
unable to leave.
Oh, that's heartbreaking. And to know that there was torture, that boy was tortured, that's unfathomable. How can a mother do that to their kid?
I discussed with him that being put in a corner for any great length of time was too much, was enough. It wasn't, and that he needed mental help.
So do no. Oh my
Come to
God, guys,
Morrison's
I'm
and shop their
gonna
massive
lose
selection
my
of home.
mind here. I'm going to lose my mind here. Listen, lady, y'all need the help. Listen, kids are kids. Kids are kids. They're not going to, kids are always going to be kids, right? That's, they don't always listen. Get over it. She needs to be put away just like they were. Absolutely. This reminds me of probably the most, this is up there with Dakota Collins, which I did a video recently on Dakota Collins. If you didn't see it, check under the video section. I also have the interrogation on my Justin for All channel as well. Prison is way too good for them. Way too good. They need their bowels stomped out, not the child. Not the child.
See, that's an
They
example.
literally
You know, we saw the guys from
did that to a 6-year-old.
How come you didn't ask?
He was bad. Look at the parents. Look at the parents, people. They're saying, oh, the kid's bad. Well, the kid is 6. Yeah, Gabriel too. Dakota Collins had the same thing happen to him, except the father used a wooden chair leg with cayenne pepper hot sauce and assaulted him. There was nothing wrong with this kid. There was only something wrong with the 3 of these. Period. This is the press conference.
Where were you sitting down? Where were you?
Yep. Love you too, Trina. This is so upsetting. It's so upsetting.
Good afternoon. The prosecutor will update everyone on the additional charges that have been filed in this case. First, I want to remind everyone that criminal charges are merely accusations.
Well, it's hard to hear
Defendants are
them.
presumed
Let's see
innocent
here.
Until and unless proven guilty. Her remarks today are based on the information placed on the record during the swear-to and arraignment before the court earlier this morning.
Well, let me see if I can get a better feed. Hold on one second.
Good afternoon. I would like to introduce members of my staff.
Bear with me,
To my
guys. Let me
left
see
is
if I can
Sarah
get.
Green. She's the chief of the Special Victims Unit. Assistant Prosecutor Lauren Benninger. She is also in the Special Victims Unit.
I think I got it
Kelly
here.
Collins is our chief of juvenile. Betsy Haig is our chief of administration and oversees the juvenile division.
Let me see if I can get a better sound on it.
Mark Keese is our chief of circuit, and this is performing an intensive review of Child Advocacy Center in Oakland County.
Oh,
My
sorry.
office has
I
an
was doing the wrong
experienced
one. Same one.
prosecutor
Sorry.
dedicated.
Bear with me. We need to hear this. We really need to hear this.
Mark Keese is our chief of circle, Giacchino, for lying to the police and additional charges against defendant Giacchino for improperly possessing weapons and ammunition because he was already a convicted felon. But it was clear from the evidence that we saw that there was a pattern of abuse that led to Chulo's death. My office, in conjunction with the Madison Heights Police Department, has spent the last week performing an intensive review of every piece of available evidence, including cell phone evidence, photos, and evidence that was seized in search warrants. Combined, we have spent over 100 hours reviewing extremely disturbing videos and photos, as well as text messages and Facebook chats describing the horrific things that happened to this 6-year-old boy. Everyone standing up here, including myself, were a part of those 100 hours.
Chelsea, I agree. I agree.
His siblings were present for and witnessed much of that abuse, and a complete review of the digital evidence continues. Chulo's 4-year-old brother was interviewed at Care House. For those of you who don't know, Care House is a child advocacy center in Oakland County. My office has an experienced prosecutor dedicated to Care House and who attends forensic interviews there, and that's Lauren Benninger. I cannot express the importance of Care House and how fortunate we are in this county to have this highly qualified professional organization who interview and provide therapy for child victims. I also want to thank the Oakland County Sheriff's Department who assisted in this investigation. As we carefully sifted through the evidence, what we found can only be described as horrific. The allegations are that Chulo was confined to a pen in the defendant's bedroom. He was beaten. He was bound to the wall by using a staple gun to his close to the wall, which forced his face into a corner. He was badly injured, but he was not taken for medical treatment because his mother knew that a medical examination would reveal the abuse. And that information is all an allegation that is already in the public forum on the record in the swear to. Based on that additional evidence, today, my office amended the charges against the defendants to include murder and child abuse in the first degree. On July 30th, 2024, at 2:34 p.m., Elena Jennings called 911 to her home and indicated
There was 2 other siblings in the home. 2 other siblings. 3 children total. Mom, the boyfriend, and the grandma in that trailer.
that her 6-year-old son was passed out and unconscious. Chulo was rushed by ambulance to Ascension Macomb Oakland Hospital, transferred to the Detroit Medical Center, and ultimately succumbed to his injuries around midnight on July 31st. The allegations are that Jennings falsely told police that she left Chulo with his biological father when she went to work that morning, and that Chulo was uninjured prior to being with his father.
Spirit, I was
Police
thinking the same
located
thing.
and arrested Chulo's father, and based on information provided by his father, subsequent investigation quickly revealed that the child's father was not anywhere near Chulo's location that day, and that
The prosecutor, the law enforcement, the medical, the ambulance, anybody who has dealt with this case from the moment that this started, God bless them. I agree, Spirit Seeker. God bless them. Listen, I believe I may even call the prosecutor and ask if they are going to expect to do charges on this grandma. There is no way that you could live in this little trailer amongst 3 children and say what you already knew and not know. This is something that wasn't a day that just happened in one day. So tomorrow,
Defendant
the call.
Jennings had provided false information to police. Based on the investigation to date, there is no evidence that Chulo's father took part in these crimes. Elena Jennings, along with Chulo and her 2 other minor children, were living at the home along with Jennings' boyfriend, defendant Daniel Giacchina, and Giacchina's grandmother. Further investigation revealed that Giacchina and Jennings conspired to falsely tell police that it was Chulo's biological father who was last with Chulo.
Exactly.
In fact, when
Janine.
Jennings left the home on the morning of July 30th, Chulo was left in the care of Giacchina. Giacchina typically watched Chulo when Jennings was at work, along with Chulo's 2 younger siblings and another unrelated 5-year-old. Photos taken during an autopsy in Wayne County revealed that Chulo had bruising and laceration on his entire body, including to his scalp, temples, lips, inner mouth, cheeks, forehead, chin, shoulder, forearms, fingers, thumbs, back, buttocks, inner thighs, knees, and shins. Notably,
Poor
Chulo
baby.
had pervasive bruising to his abdomen, which was also bloated and distended. He had an apparent BB wound to his shin. First responders and emergency room personnel noted extensive external injuries as well. Cell phone evidence has revealed that Chulo Jennings was being severely abused by the defendants. Chulo was beaten by Giacchina on multiple occasions. While that abuse sometimes happened while Jennings was at work, Jennings was aware of it and approved of the physical assaults, and at times even encouraged Giacchina to abuse Chulo. The abuse involved physical violence and assault, including shooting at Chulo with a BB gun. For punishment, Chulo was confined to a pen in a corner of Giacchina's and Jennings' bedroom, where he was left to try and sleep on a wooden slat measuring 11 inches by 36 inches.
In a pen, measuring his bed was 11 inches, right, by 31 inches. I hope, Lord, I know you're supposed to pray for the people, but Lord, I can't. I hope that they get the beat out of them.
A black curtain was put in place so Chulo couldn't see out, and barricades were used to keep him in place. Giacchina purchased a home security.
Why? One of these children are singled out always in these.
Security system and mounted in place so Chulo couldn't see out, and barricades were used to keep him in place. Giacchina purchased a home security system and mounted a camera on the wall to monitor what he and Jennings called, quote, the corner, the pen in the bedroom cordoned by the black curtain where they kept Chulo. Both Giacchina and Jennings would watch video clips of Chulo, quote, misbehaving, which would include Chulo trying to urinate.
Unfortunately, Michigan does not have the DP.
Drink, or leave the corner. On one instance, on July 26, Giacchina bound Chulo to the wall to keep Chulo confined in the corner and to position his head to face the wall. He did so by stapling the clothing Chulo was wearing to the wall with a staple gun. He texted Jennings that he had solved the problem of keeping Chulo's face toward the wall, sending her a photo of Chulo stapled into the corner of the pen. That photo shows the shoulders of Chulo's shirt stapled to the edges of the corner in such a manner that Chulo's body, along with his head, and face were wedged into the corner of the wall. Both Jennings and Giacchina laughed about the photo and Giacchina's use of the staple gun to solve, quote, the problem. According to the text, Chulo was being punished in this manner for looking out the window in the pen area. A search conducted in the home in the
So if that's not bad enough, just for him looking out the window, they punished him in his cage. In his cage. I know, guys, this is hard. This is hard. But think of what Chulo went after, was up against. He had no alliance in that home. Yep. Yep, Tina, reminds me so much. These stories, as uncomfortable as they are, need to be heard. This is unacceptable. Unacceptable. This needs to piss people off. I can imagine what that baby went through.
pen area where Chulo was kept revealed marks in the walls consistent with a staple gun and holes in the wall with BBs still in them. During the search, police seized both a staple gun, a BB gun, and CO2 cartridges before the BB gun. They also seized a 9mm semi-automatic ghost gun.
Reality. I don't think that's what that means. That's what the prosecutor is, and that's what the news is saying.
Over 100 rounds of live 9mm ammunition. A photograph recovered from the cell phone analysis depicts Giacchina in the middle of two young children who are handling the ghost gun and the BB gun. On July 26, a photo from Jennings' phone depicts two children.
Chulo means cool in Spanish. Yes, pew-pewed with a BB gun, kept in a cage, stayed in a corner, punished if he looked out the window, punished if he went to get out of the cage and get a drink or use the bathroom.
Who are each pointing a gun at a third child. The third child has his hand up and the laser from the ghost gun is illuminating his hand. Elena Jennings' 4-year-old son was forensically interviewed at Care House. He told the forensic interviewer that, quote, Danny Giacchina shot him in the leg with a BB gun and showed his wound to the forensic interviewer. He also disclosed that Danny shot Chulo in the buttocks with the BB gun. The 4-year-old explained that on the day of Chulo's death, quote, Chulo died all day and Danny was there. Defendant Elena Jennings was interviewed by police and she stated that Giacchina.
The sibling said Chulo died all day. He laid there and he suffered miserably. His bowel perforated.
Punched Chulo in the abdomen several times, approximately 3 days prior to his death. She told police that as a result of those punches, Chulo began vomiting. His condition began to worsen until July 30th, when she found him unresponsive in the company of Giacchina. Jennings admitted that she knew Chulo desperately needed medical attention, but she did not take him to the hospital because she knew that a medical examination would reveal the abuse he was suffering. The investigation also revealed that Jennings and Giacchina were present and living in the family home the entire time that the known abuse was sustained by Chulo. After the autopsy, the Wayne County Medical Examiner issued a supplemental report indicating that Chulo Jennings died by homicide as a result of a bowel perforation with complications after blunt force trauma to his abdomen. All children have a right to grow up in a home free of fear. This child and his siblings suffered unimaginable abuse and lived in fear every day. My office and the Madison Heights Police Department are committed to using every resource available to us to get justice for Chulo and hold the people responsible for his death accountable, and to seek punishment that reflects the horror of his death. And I want to thank the Madison Heights Police Department for their commitment and conviction in carrying out a very complicated investigation. And I'd like to turn it over to the chief now.
Thank you, Karen. So, good afternoon, members of the press. For those who don't know me, my name is Brent Lemarise, and again, I'm the police chief for the city of Madison Heights. I'm not to be too redundant, but I'm going to speak a little bit on some of the things that Karen already said, but I'm going to be very short. So as you know, the Madison Heights Police Department and the Madison Heights Fire Department responded to the residence of the 6-year-old victim, Chulo Giovanni Jennings, on July 30th, 2024. This was the first time we encountered Giovanni and learned about his failing condition. The first responders took life-saving measures, but unfortunately, Giovanni eventually succumbed to his injuries. Officers moved quickly to obtain probable cause, and they made 3 arrests on the date of the incident. One individual, as Karen had stated previously, was released when it was determined he had an alibi, and he was turned over to another agency on separate violations. The other 2 individuals, as you now know, are Elena Jennings and Daniel
Hold
Giacchina.
on. Wait a second.
Condition. The first responders took life-saving measures.
This guy is about, like, his voice is shaking.
But unfortunately, Giovanni eventually succumbed to his injuries. Officers moved quickly to obtain probable cause, and they made 3 arrests on the date of the incident. One individual, as Karen had stated previously, was released when it was determined he had an alibi, and he was turned over to another
That he had an alibi and he was turned over to
agency on separate violations. The other 2 individuals, as you now know, are Elena Jennings and Daniel Giacchina, and they were charged with lying to the police.
Do they mean the grandma? They
And
said
Daniel
he-
Giacchina had a pre-existing warrant for weapons-related offenses out of Madison Heights. Since their arraignment on those charges, the Madison Heights investigative team, in coordination with the Oakland County Prosecutor's Office and their investigators, have been working around the clock to uncover fresh evidence that has led to new charges introduced today by Karen McDonald. I would like to give a special thank you to all of them for their hard work. With that said, I want to remain focused on Giovanni and the tragic situation he had to endure. We will continue to work with the prosecutor's office to build this case and provide that justice for Giovanni. Thank you.
We can take a few questions with the understanding that we're very limited in what we can say.
Prosecutor, had anyone reported any of this abuse to CPS? And can you, as a parent, speak to the extreme nature of this abuse and how horrifying it is?
I can't comment on whether it was reported to CPS. I know that we are all mandated reporters and immediately contacted CPS because that's our job. I'm a former family court judge and presiding over an abuse and neglect docket. I've been a prosecutor for years and the elected prosecutor for 4. And I think everyone standing up here has decades and decades of experience in prosecuting, particularly in the special victims unit. But this was one of the worst cases we've seen.
Will Jones, Local 4, how do you prevent something like this from happening? Is there anything that can be done?
There's a lot that can be done. And without going into the circumstances of this case,
Oh, they tried to blame the. I didn't think the bio dad was involved in his life. Okay, thank you for that, Detroit. That's what I was looking for right now.
we need to know and keep track of our children. We need to know and keep track of our children who are enrolled in public schools, and when they are taken out, inquire about what happened to them. And then the people around kids, whether you're a neighbor, a teacher, a coach, just somebody.
Now, listen, I am not saying that homeschool is bad at all. I'm not saying that. However, there needs to be some checks and balances for these people, just like in Dakota Collins' case. Dad, unenrolled, Dakota. So the abuse could continue. There has to be, the pathway to education for your children is up to you. However, there has to be checks for each of these kids. How did they get indoctrinated without attending? I think he was once in public school.
In the grocery store line, if you see something that concerns you, you should absolutely report it to the Child Protective Services or the police. And in terms of the weapons offenses, your guns should be secured, stored, and locked, and not available, or children have access to them at all.
Absolutely reality.
It's hard for a lot of people to imagine abuse on this scale. Can you talk about your reaction as a parent when you first looked at this case?
We have so many tools available to us now in the digital forensic analysis, particularly with cell phones. And so, unfortunately or fortunately,
Spirit seeker, it's usually something within the parent or the caregiver that enrages something in themselves. There's no way that anyone should hate a child. I don't care if they are the most misbehaved child on the planet. I don't understand how someone stapling a child, pew-pewing him with BBs, keeping him in a cage, thinks that that's going to help. If a child is misbehaving, there is a symptom for everything. For everything. Absolutely everything. If you are showing hate toward another individual that has not, just disdain, hate, critical in areas that doesn't matter at the end of the day, then it's something within yourself. It's something within yourself. And many times there is DRUG, involvement or very bad mental illness. And truthfully, a lot of people who are suffering from mental illness substitute that with drugs, and it is a vicious cycle. They're not treated for whatever is ailing them. I don't understand how people can just hate one another for petty things. If you're not, again, like I say all the time, if you're not harming a child, harming an animal, harming someone who is mentally or physically handicapped in some way, then you can fix it. You can find a way.
Crimes like these oftentimes are depicted, photographed, spoken about in a way that is horrifying. So I think it doesn't matter how long you do this job. I don't think any of us ever stop being extremely moved and horrified at what we see. But it also, I know I can speak for the people on my team, makes us more passionate and work harder to protect vulnerable people. Anything else?
Just indicate that both defendants were arraigned this morning in front of Magistrate Michael Mitchell. Bond was denied, and they're both at the Oakland County Jail. Thank you.
Thank you.
I mean, I think, listen, I think grandma needs to be charged as well. I think she absolutely, unless I'm missing something, tomorrow I'm calling. Just like Jen Soto. Hopefully the charges are coming on her as well. No one asked any questions about grandma. Yep. Unless I'm missing something. I'd much rather be safe and sorry than read headlines tomorrow. Yes. Reality wins. I believe street justice will get them in the pen. Yeah, Nancy, I mean, there is, it's what, I think it's a 12 by 65 or a 12 by 50 trailer. The walls are thin. You couldn't, there's no way you could convince me. There's no way a person could convince me that you didn't know a child was kept in a cage BBGUN shot at the child, stapled to the wall, and the child abused so much that their bowels perforated, the child's bowels perforated. Now, you know, and I know that that child was screaming in pain. I don't even know how the neighbors could know. I just don't get it. I I can they'll drop my email address, my dear. Can y'all drop my email address? The mother called 911 after the child was unresponsive. It takes a special kind of evil. Oh, you're fine, dear. You're fine, honey. Had him gagged. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, then they blame the bio dad. Anybody that is over the age of consent, really over the age of 16 or 17, probably 18, really, at the end of the day, that lived in that home, that visited that home, needs to be charged. This is one that I truly can't even imagine. Serenity, thank you so much, honey. I'm sorry I missed this. I was telling my husband about this, and he said they need the penalty, but not a quick one, but a slow one. And my husband has no kids of his own, but stepdad to my kids. It's amazing, Serenity. There's some amazing, as equally, not as equally, but, step parents a lot of time get a bad rap because of the few that are horrible, absolutely horrible. But there are equally step parents out there that have saved, you know, the family, saved the children, stepped up when others' parents couldn't care less. It's a 3-month-old silver alert. Yesterday, today, he was found deceased, father in custody. Oh, yeah, of course. We'll look at it. My God. And it's terrible. My boyfriend has been an amazing stepdad to mine since 2008, since my 19-year-old twins were in diapers. Oh, that's very sweet. What's expected? No, no, there's nothing, we don't block really a lot of people unless they are just total, disagreeing. We rarely block anybody. You have to be a pretty douchebag, like name calling and all that stuff. Uh, Spirit Seeker just sent this to me, and I'm gonna share it. Oh, Lisa, happy birthday, my dear. I'll try to remember to sing to you here in a little bit. Missing Lafayette, 3-month-old Jacob, is it Moniz? Monius, found deceased, father in custody. This is in Lafayette, Indiana. 3-month-old Jacob was it Moniz, likely died before Lafayette police even issued the silver alert for an infant on Saturday afternoon. News that the baby had been found deceased stunned some neighbors Sunday morning in Acorn Apartments in the 2500 block of Lexington Court, especially those who lived in the same apartment building. They never noticed any problems in the couple's second floor apartment and never heard any arguing or fighting, the neighbors said. But Sunday morning, the apartment was sealed, and the baby's father, uh, Eslard Moniz, 28 of the 2500 block of Lexington Court in Lafayette, was jailed on suspicion of battering his wife. Has not yet been charged with unaliving anyone. Police issued a silver alert for baby Jacob after the infant's mother, bloodied and severely battered, drove herself to the hospital for treatment on Saturday afternoon. Lafayette Police Sergeant Sean Verma said from there, police went into the apartment to investigate the battery and look for the baby. Quote, when officers were initially inside the apartment checking out the scene, the baby was nowhere to be found, Verma said, but the baby was there all along. Here's this sweet little Jacob. Give me 1 second. Let's see if I can find a better picture. Sadly, a lot of these parents don't even take pictures of their child. Let me find something. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to, so I can enlarge it here. So we can at least pay our respects to this sweet baby. Bless his heart. Listen, you don't want your kids, call me. There's plenty of us that will take them. Don't harm them. Don't harm them. Police issued a silver alert for baby Jacob after the infant's mother. Okay, I already read that part. But the baby was there all along. The baby was in the apartment, Verma said, but officers didn't find the infant until 5:30 a.m. Sunday. Quote, the baby was located, Verma said. He was concealed in the area that an officer would never think to look. I don't know what prompted the officer to be like, oh, let's open this, Verma said, end quote. Quote, when the officer opened that, he discovered the deceased child, baby. The county coroner, Carrie Costello, said she was called to the scene at 5:30 Sunday. Police identified the baby as Jacob Moniz. By Costello has not confirmed the identification of the child. Costello said she will release the name once the child is positively identified. A forensic autopsy is scheduled for Monday, Costello said, adding she is treating the death investigation as a homicide. As for the baby's father, Elsard Moniz, drew some attention from a neighbor Saturday. Quote, I did see the guy come outside the house when I was going back to work, end quote. A neighbor said, quote, I just saw a man come outside and just rush like he left in a hurry, end quote. Elise Moniz didn't get far. Indianapolis police arrested Moniz, and Lafayette police picked him up in Indy, Verma said. Moniz did not comment about how his wife was battered and assaulted. Verma said she told police that Moniz was used a tire iron like rod to beat her in the head and body. Detectives plan to question Moniz Sunday about baby Jacob's death. Meanwhile, he sits in jail without bond on suspicion of crimes against his wife, including attempted unaliving, domestic battery with serious bodily injury, domestic battery with a deadly weapon, domestic battery in the presence of a child, according to online jail records. The battery and baby Jacob's death remains under investigation, police said. Thank you, Spirit Seeker, for telling us about this. Sadly, it's all of our faults in the media, but I think children of color and of Hispanic descendants don't get the attention that is needed sometimes. A lot of time, most of the time, actually. So I appreciate that. And that's not fair. Every child, every single child deserves to, to be heard and to be seen. And that's that. There is, if you go look at the missing children in this country, the overwhelming, and I mean overwhelming, is children of color, of black or brown. You shouldn't have to have just blonde hair and blue eyes to get the attention. A victim is a victim. Period. Kiwi, it doesn't say what he was found in. It doesn't say. It doesn't say. Hey, Soldier Girl. Guys, I'm not going to do Sebastian on this live. I need to change the thing. I'll come back in a little bit. This is a case in Virginia that needs to be covered. Several men roomed there. No suspect unsolved. If you want to send me that email, And that's right. That's right. I don't know how anyone harms a child like this. I don't know how someone can get so angry. Uh, of course, Lady T. I mean, uh, I have, you know, taken care of just about any shader caller of child that you can imagine um, in foster care in my home. And let me tell you something, a child is a child. It doesn't matter what color they are, what they look like. They all laugh about the same things, right? They all cry about the same things. And they all love the same things. It doesn't matter what country you come from. You will look at a child and they are amused with the same things as we were when we were children. And it's unfathomable that someone can have so much anger in them that they hurt a child. And people's like, it makes it worse if it's even your own child. It's just you can't make it any worse than just hurting a child, period. um I don't know how any person can hurt any child, their own or someone else's. Yeah. Thank you, Lady T. Thank you for, of course, my dear. Thank you. Thank you, Diane. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. We really do. We really do. And a lot of it is, I really believe is many times in how they were raised or the relationship that they're in. Animals wouldn't do this to the young. No, no. Thank you so much, Diane. Really appreciate it. Um, but it takes every single one of us to be a voice. Every single one of us. If you think a child is actually being abused or neglected, it is your duty, my duty, to speak up. Right? You know when someone's being mistreated. It's that little voice inside of you that says something's wrong. Something's wrong here. Right? So there's that. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Really do appreciate your time. Um, you know, it's really something that uh people, you know, do this. So rest in peace. Little Giovanni and little Jacob, rest in peace. And we'll make sure that justice is done, and may it not be in vain. So, oh, thank you, Stephanie. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. That means a lot, Stephanie. Thank you so much. It's very sweet. Thank you for 2 months, my dear. Thank you, Spirit Seeker. Love is blind. See something, say something. Absolutely. Giovanni and Jacob. Yeah. Yep. Donna, please come back. Please come back. Please come back, of course. I'll be back a little later, a couple hours or so, and I'll see you guys. Yeah, I'll be back in a little bit. So awesome. Thank you, Donna. All right, guys. Love you guys. I'll see you on a little bit. Bye-bye.